guess you got to throw these in too, even though it's a club with only a game over the 500 mark because you're playing on the road. But this Reds team is entering a very critical period that could impact the rest of this baseball season when you look at their schedule coming up.
Yeah, I think when you look at this series normally with the Reds and the Indians, if you split the series 2-2 over the year, you feel pretty good about yourself. I don't think the Reds are in a position where they can lose a ball game right now to the Cleveland Indians. And I know we're playing in Cleveland. You're facing a difficult pitcher in Trevor Bauer, but you got the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros coming to town. You've got to figure out a way to put some wins on the board against teams that you need to beat.
Well, the Reds have the best they have to offer going to the mound tonight, but the Indians have a guy who's no slouch, as Jeff mentioned, in Trevor Bauer, so we'll see how it plays out. Nick Senzel will lead it off. First pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati on Kellogg Avenue off I-275. Did not start in the Sunday afternoon game in Philadelphia, but made his presence known. Came on as a pinch hitter in the seventh, stayed in the game, and went 2 for 2. And now the pitch is taken low for a ball, and this game is underway. We got 70 degrees, our game time temperature here in downtown Cleveland. Senzel, 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one's in for a call strike. He bats him at 273 with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. To be followed by Votto and Suarez. The defense on the infield pretty much straight up. The outfield playing him as an opposite field hitter. And he checks his swing on a pitch just a tad high, and he gets ahead in the count. Bauer, making his 15th start, has won 4 of 10 decisions, sporting a .393 earned run average. And this is an area that the Indians have been really hard hit injury-wise this season when you consider the people that they are playing without. In fact, one of the premier pitchers in the game, Corey Kluber, he's gone, and it's been a tough year for this club. Most people pick this team to win the division again, and that pretty much is not going to happen. There's a ground ball hit to first, picked by Santana. He'll take it himself. And Senzel is gone, 1 out.
Yeah, I think when you lose an ace like Corey Kluber, Clevenger has been out. They've lost Carrasco for an indefinite period. I mean, that's 3 of your starting pitchers right there. That makes it difficult. I don't care what kind of payroll you got.
It really does. And offensively, they've been something of a surprise because they've not hit. A guy like a Jose Ramirez. Here's a bullet to right field off Votto's bat. That ball rolling into the corner, chased after by Tyler Naquin. And Joey Votto will go into second base sliding with a 2-base hit. But Naquin made some kind of throw from the right field corner. And if Votto had not been running just a tad less, he's out.
I didn't realize he had that kind of arm. I mean, that was Yasiel Puig type throw.
It sure was. So Joey has doubled his 11th 2-base hit of the year. And that'll bring to the plate Eugenio Suarez. Only 3 hits in his last 24 times up, but he had the base hit in the 7th inning on Sunday that turned out to be the run that he drove in was a winning run, and now stands in here in the 1st inning with a chance to get the Reds on the board right out of the chute.
Bauer does not throw a whole lot of breaking balls for strikes early in the count. Most of the time, you're going to see a fastball first pitch, and Votto jumped all over it.
Now the right-hander straightens up and works and misses off the plate outside a ball. Their defense with Carlos Santana first, Mike Freeman at second, Ramirez at third, Francisco Lindor at short, Oscar Mercado in left, Leones Martin in center, Tyler Naquin in right, and Roberto Perez behind the plate. Here comes the pitch, and that one's in the dirt, knocked down on the hop by Perez, and Bauer behind 2 balls and no strikes.
Bauer does not have a win going all the way back to April 30th. 0-5 ERA above 5 since then.
Pitching behind in the count to Eugenio Suarez, and a high, deep drive to center. Drifting back quickly to make the catch is Martin, and they're 2 out. So if the Reds are going to score, it's going to be up to one of Cleveland's favorite sons, and that would be Derek Dietrich, a graduate of St. Ignatius High School, a team that just a matter of days, maybe a week ago, won the big school baseball state championship. And he was seen down signing autographs. A lot of youngsters in the house tonight with St. I jerseys on and whatnot. And he was down there trying to take care of every one of them. So here he is with a runner at second base and 2 out. And the pitch is in for a strike. Our plate umpire, Bill Welke. Lance Barrett first, Chris Guccione at second, and Mike Everett at third. Votto backing off the bag at second, checking on the whereabouts of Lindor, who's playing Dietrich almost dead straight up the middle. That pitch is up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield playing Dietrich to pull. The infield the same. And now the 1-1 pitch on the way. And Dietrich grounds it foul to the first base dugout. That one occupied by the visiting club, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes on the Red second baseman. Tomorrow will be a day game. It'll be a 1:10 beginning here with Anthony DeSclafani hooking up with right-hander Zach Plesac. And then after another off day on Thursday, the Reds kick off the American League West homestand featuring the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros, 3 against each. Here's a 1-2, and it's a ground ball hit to first, played by Santana to the bag, inning over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. It will Lindor, ball 1 as we go to the bottom of inning number 1. Lindor, Mercado, and Santana, the top third of Terry Francona's batting order. That one is hammered to center field. Racing back is Senzel. It's off the wall. The ball kicks back toward the infield, and Lindor will go into second base standing up with a laser-like double off the center field wall.
Every time we play this club, and he, being Francisco Lindor, hits a ball like that, it surprises me. That ball came off the bat, and there was no chance for Senzel to make the play. But I think Senzel, just judging by the size of Francisco Lindor, is thinking, that's a line drive to me in center. That ball almost got out of here.
Sure did. So he's at second, as Votto was, albeit he was there with nobody out. And now it'll be Mercado, the left fielder, a .293 batter. Here's the stretch and the pitch. And it's off the plate and high, ball 1. He was recalled from Columbus on the 14th of May, where he was batting .294 against International League pitching. 3 homers, 7 runs batted in. And now a bluff throw back toward second by Castillo gets Lindor hustling back into the bag. Castillo redirecting his attention back toward the plate. Now the motion on the mound. Big lead at second by Lindor. Pitching, and Mercado takes inside. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Fans, it's Bowtie Tuesday with Mike's Car Wash. If the Reds win tonight's game, you'll save $5 off an ultimate wash tomorrow at all Mike's Car Wash locations. And Mike will donate $1 for each car wash to the Reds Community Fund if the Reds were to win tonight. Here's a pitch, and that's fouled out of play back of first base. Joey Votto, Derek Dietrich, Eugenio Suarez, Jose Iglesias first, second, third, and short. And the outfield of Van Meter left, Senzel center, and Puig right. Barnhart behind the plate. Now time called as Castillo goes into his stretch. This Indians ball club, only a game over the 500 mark, and a very distant 10.5 games behind the Minnesota Twins, who are making a mockery of the American League Central Division. That pitch is drilled back into deep left center field, but it'll be caught in the alley. Lindor starts down the line toward third, but throws on the brakes as the ball picked off quickly by Van Meter and gets this throw back toward the infield. So Mercado gone, and here's first baseman Carlos Santana with one out.
Ball looked like it was hit better than what it ended up being. And the ball by Lindor didn't look like it was hit that well on the top of the center field wall.
So one down, and now Santana batting .285, 12 homers and 40 runs batted in. This is a guy who was here, was gone, and they thought enough of him to bring him back. And based on the kind of year he's had up to this point, they certainly can't be sorry that he is back in an Indians uniform after a one-year respite with the Philadelphia Phillies last season. He takes a fastball in. Came up to the big leagues with the Indians back in 2010 and stayed here until after the 17 year. Last year, he played in all but one game for the Philadelphia Phillies, batted .229 with 24 homers and 86 runs batted in. Here's a pitch, and that's a strike, and then went to Seattle, and then was acquired by the Indians from the Mariners in that three-team trade that also involved the Tampa Bay Rays in exchange for Edwin Encarnacion and a draft selection. Now the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Santana's awfully selective at the plate, but he's still got 12 homers and 40 RBIs on the board.
Yeah, he's had in excess of 100 walks 3 different times in a season, and 3 other times he's been over 90. So he is definitely very selective at the plate. That one fouled off.
Well, we've come in here in previous years where his batting average was relatively low, but his on-base percentage was high. But, I mean, he's swinging the bat pretty well right now. I mean, between him and Lindor, you just have to kind of pick your poison in between.
He settles back in the box with a 2-2 count. Lindor standing at second base, 1 out. Now the pause and now the pitch, and he hits a high fly ball that Van Meter will come on to play in left, and they're 2 out. Tyler Naquin.
I would guess that for the most part, at least looking at the previous lineups, Jason Kipnis is the one that's normally hitting in this number 4 spot. But no Kipnis here tonight, may not have him tomorrow. A little hip issue.
So Naquin filling in the spot in the batting order. And batting .267 with a couple of home runs. Left-handed batter. The kick and the pitch and a swing and a miss. I tell you what, this ballpark has always been one of my favorites. Really like the way it's laid out. They've got the high wall in left field with the bleachers out there and the massive scoreboard atop the bleachers in left. Here's a pitch, and it's a ball, a strike.
Yeah, when you look along that left field wall, it looks like it would take some kind of bomb to get it out of here. Of course, I can remember Mark McGwire on that parking lot back there. I guess it's just an optical illusion.
Swing and a miss. Pitch down and in, enabling Castillo to get ahead of the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, that's just a huge left field wall and stands and scoreboard, and then the Progressive Field Indians up at the top.
It is massive. Every conceivable thing you need to know is all encompassed in that one huge board. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They've got 3 decks out in right field. And then and a couple of rows in center. The bullpens are out in that direction. That pitch is taken way high, and now a 3-2 count. Castillo goes down behind the mound, collects himself. He's got Jose Ramirez on deck, and even though he's not having nearly the year that they anticipated him having, I don't think you want to face him with a couple of folks on base. So you got to get Naquin out and end this inning with Lindor at second. And he does, a swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. We go to the top of the second. We pause for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
The governor has requested federal assistance for tornado damage and a way for Reds fans to help tornado victims. Those stories and more coming up after the game on the home of the Reds. News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
We move to the top of the second where Jesse Winker, the Reds DH, will lead the inning off. Trevor Bauer rocks and works, and it's ball one. Hitting .237 with 10 homers and 18 runs batted in, Winker. He comes to the plate with only 4 hits in his last 23 times up. And that's a ball 2-0. He is a DH tonight. Asked David Bell who might it be tomorrow. He said, I really don't know. He's not concentrating on this game, and I'll worry about who will be the DH after this game for the afternoon game tomorrow. Bauer working quickly and missing again. So he's behind in the count to the leadoff batter, 3-0, with Puig and Van Meter also due up in the inning. And that's a strike, 3-1.
Well, that sun is beaten down on the first base dugout.
It sure is.
See all the Reds players squinting and trying to hold their hands so they can see the batter at the plate.
Here's ball 4. So Winker gets things underway in the second with a 5-pitch walk. And now it'll be Yasiel Puig. If you're listening tonight on your car or truck radio, please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back?
All right, folks, it is now time for our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game.
Can't stand the pressure.
Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. All brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters.
Puig takes the first pitch fastball for a strike.
The Indians last won a championship in 1948, Mr. Brenneman.
Mm-hmm.
That club was guided by player manager and future Hall of Famer Lou Boudreau.
Correct.
And he had a former Reds manager as his third base coach.
Oh, boy.
Who was that former Reds manager?
Here's a fly ball coming into left center or toward left center to make the catch. The center fielder, Martin, 1 out.
Was it A, Chuck Dressen, B, Bill McKechnie, or C, Bucky Walters?
What was B?
Bill McKechnie.
I'm taking that.
Okay. Any particular reason other than maybe you think it's right?
Or maybe I know it.
Oh, I like it. I like that. I like it.
I said maybe.
Maybe I know it. How do you like me now?
Here's Josh Van Meter with 1 out and 1 on. I'm going to say McKechnie for the moment. Ball 1.
Because you do well know
I
that
do.
we will revisit this as we get to the 8th inning, and you will be allowed to change your answer if there's a possibility that you might want to do that.
I will give myself every opportunity. But I'm going with Bill McKechnie at the moment.
I've got it marked down.
Thank you very much.
Maybe I know it.
Van Meter and the pitch. And it's a ball, 2-0. Making only a 6th start. They have not been very plentiful for this young man, batting 226 in limited playing time, 3 runs batted in. He's had a couple of doubles. Maker walk, Puig fly to center. Bauer raises the leg and comes with a 2-0 pitch, and that's a strike.
Well, when you're a young player and you're getting an opportunity, as Van Meter is tonight and as he has over the last few weeks, every pitch is critical. You've got to work hard. You've got to study. And when you come to the plate, you got to be ready to hit.
Swung on, ground ball to second. They go 4-6, and that's 6-3, and that's a double play. No runs, no hits. We talked about what a difference a year has made. In his case, a 203 batter going into play tonight as he looks at a first pitch strike. Last year batted 270 with 39 home runs and 105 runs batted in. He's knocked in all of 21 this season. The pitch, and that one is in the air to right. Should be caught by Puig and will be one out as we welcome in our good friend, and we hope yours from The Athletic, and that would be C. Trent Rosecrans. How are you?
I'm fantastic. If I were any better.
I can dig it. Just roll into town last night? Today?
Yeah, drove up today. It's a nice, easy drive.
It's a very boring drive.
It's boring, but it's easy.
Yes, it is. No question about
How far?
that. It's like 3.5 hours or so.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad at all.
Straight up Columbus, then take a right turn.
Had a little traffic in Columbus, but that's okay. Came right up here.
Here's Jake Bowers, 1 ball, no strikes. Give us an update on the walking wounded, i.e. Alex Wood and Scooter Gennett.
Alex Wood is going to throw a side tomorrow, another one Saturday, and if all goes well, live batting practice next week. Scooter Gennett is in Arizona.
Right.
They were going to welcome him with a live BP there today, and he'll be there through Saturday. And then the next step to be determined, but
Joey Votto fields a ground ball and gives it up to Castillo, 2 out.
But if you want to kind of connect the dots, I guess the next step would be to get him out into minor league rehab type games.
You mean after Saturday, assuming everything goes well the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, he's scheduled to return to Cincinnati Saturday.
Now,
so.
Alex Wood's got 2 more bullpen sessions,
2
right?
bullpens and then live BP.
Right.
And then Robert Stevenson's supposed to pitch tonight for Louisville.
Slowly but surely, baby steps.
There's still steps.
Yes, they are. 2 down, and here's Roberto Perez, the catcher of the Indians. And he takes a pitch outside a ball. This club entering, and Jeff and I talked about it, a rather interesting period right now, given the nature of the kinds of clubs they're going to be playing, counting these 2 because they're on the road, but then you got 3 at home against Texas, followed by 3 at home against Houston. That ain't no walk in the park.
No, it's not. Texas has been a weird club.
Yeah.
You know, you're into run differential, they're not, but they're into wins, which is good.
Yeah.
And then Houston's just the best in the game. I mean, they're just the best team, I think, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's a tough one. And then it's Milwaukee after that.
Correct. And then they go to west of the Angels.
There you go. 2 games in Anaheim.
Yeah.
A natural 2-game Milwaukee. Between Milwaukee and Anaheim. Makes sense?
If you say so, I'm good for it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. How things with the Athletic going? Pretty good?
Fantastic. There's some talk about getting into the Premier League heavily, so that's kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple articles the last couple of days about that, so we're good. There's good stuff all around. You know, Rose Lavelle, who is that how you say it? I think it is Lavelle from the women's national team, who had 2 goals today. Shannon Russell had a great story the other day. She's Lavelle is from Cincinnati, and Shannon talks to a bunch of the people who knew her best, her coaches when she was a kid, her mom. It's a really, really neat story that I suggest people check out. So,
I will do that.
It was fantastic. Then I was in Chattanooga I wasn't in Chattanooga. I was outside of Knoxville, seeing the Chattanooga club this weekend.
Swing and a miss. That's a punch out, and that ends the inning. Well, it's nice to have you back.
Jose Iglesias to lead things off for the Reds. It'll be 8-9-1. No pitcher hitting in tonight's ball game. Playing in an American League park. You've got the designated hitter. You don't have any room to take a bit of a breath. And a first pitch fastball for a strike right over the top of the strike zone on the inside corner here to Iglesias. 0-1 from Bauer. Breaking ball, and he drops it right down Broadway. Strike two. Bauer back to the plate. Another curveball, a swing and a miss. 3 pitches. He got Iglesias, 1 down. That is the first strikeout for Trevor Bauer here tonight. Bauer has now 104 strikeouts on the year. You get 2 strikes with Castillo on the mound, you're probably going to see a changeup. Your best bet is to look for that. With Bauer, you get 2 strikes, you're going to see the hook. And a first pitch changeup over the inside corner here to Tucker Barnhart, and that's a strike. And that's not a pitch that Trevor Bauer has thrown a whole lot of here lately. Curveball way high. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Barnhart trying to get that bat going again. 3 for his last 16. And he takes a curveball right on the outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Big over the top hook. And right now, Bauer able to get it not only on both sides of the plate, but down under the zone when he needs to, as this one is fouled way off to the left side. A fastball running up and away at 95. Bauer starts pretty much facing the hitter. And as he kicks his front knee up, he really doesn't close the hips off until he starts to come to the plate. There's a curveball, base hit into left center field. And Tucker Barnhart is aboard. Second hit of the night for the Reds. And that is the first time in the last 77 at-bats with 2 strikes that a batter has gotten a hit on the curveball by Bauer, and he just hung it up out and over the plate. So a 1-out single for Barnhart, and now the Reds will work back through the order for the second time here against the Indians right-hander. Nick Senzel hit the ball right to Santana, Indians first baseman, his first time up, and he swings over the top of an off-speed pitch right over the inside corner, strike 1. Bauer out of the stretch. He sets Barnhart with the lead at first, and a swing and a miss at a high hanging curveball. No ball, 2 strike count. Now, I would imagine after that swing, you'll see a high fastball here. Yeah, it looks like they're going down and away with a breaking ball, and they do, and it's just off the outside edge. And Senzel takes it. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Bauer turns it loose. Here's the high fastball, popped up, foul territory, right in front of the Reds dugout. Santana makes the catch, 2 down. That'll bring Joey Votto to the plate. You've got 2 awfully good starting pitchers going tonight. Bauer for the Indians, Castillo for the Reds. But both of these bullpens have been awfully good as well. There are a lot of names in that Indians bullpen you may not recognize, but you will definitely recognize the name Brad Hand. He is about as good on the left-handed side out of anybody's bullpen. First pitch strike over the outside corner here to Votto. Joey hit the first pitch he saw back in the first inning, a double down the right field line. And he pulls this one foul off the Reds dugout on the first base side, and he's down in an 0-2 hole. Bauer with a long look in. Votto pumping that bat. He doesn't step out of the box. He's waiting. And the pitch to the plate. And it's down low and in. Looked like a cut fastball from Bauer. Well off the line at third is Ramirez. Shading towards left center field is the center fielder Leonys Martin. 1-2 pitch coming to Votto. And a check swing foul off to the left side. Another cut fastball there from the right-hander Bauer, and Votto able to get just a piece of it to foul it away. Bauer the long set pitch and a swing and a miss. Fastball right on the inside corner. Indians here in the bottom of the third inning. Mike Freeman hitting in the number 8 spot, playing second base today with Kipnis out. And he takes the first pitch fastball just off the inside corner, 1-0. Freeman limited playing time, but he does have a 4-game hitting streak as he takes that changeup off the outside corner. 2-0 from Luis Castillo. Now the Reds righty back to the plate, and a fastball strike over the outside corner. Right at the belt. 97 miles an hour on that pitch from Castillo. And he works quickly. And strike 2, change up on the inside corner. It's the tough part about Castillo. Both of those pitches, the changeup and the fastball, they look exactly the same coming out of his hand. And a tapper foul down the first baseline. Votto will retrieve it. Votto was the game's 15th out. That is brought to you by Geico. Saving you money on car insurance has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at Geico.com. Geico, so easy a caveman can do it. Popped up down the left field line. Van Meter is there. He'll make the catch. 1 down. Got that fastball right in on the hands of Mike Freeman. Just a harmless pop-up for the first out here in the third for Luis Castillo. And here's Leonys Martin. I would imagine in the grand scheme of things, with the speed of Martin, Terry Francona would like him to be more consistent, maybe hit him in the number 1 spot in this order, and possibly move Francisco Lindor down to the 2 spot. But Martin has had a difficult time getting things going here in 2019. He has 1 for his last 15 with 7 strikeouts, hitting at a 206 clip coming into today, and he swings right through another changeup. And Castillo quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Back-to-back changeups, back-to-back swings before the ball ever got there. 0-2 as Castillo turns it loose, and he misses up and away with a fastball. Both pitchers tonight working awfully quick. Bauer doesn't take a whole lot of time, and we know all about the speed of Castillo. And he punches out Leonis Martin about as easy as you can do it. 2 down. Now Francisco Lindor. Lindor's hit the hardest ball of the ball game as he led off the bottom of the first inning with an absolute rocket off the center field wall. Had he had any height to that swing at all, the ball's out of here. And that would change the score to 1-0, rather it being scoreless. And a first pitch changeup, just a bit low and not by much. Bill Welke calling balls and strikes behind home plate here tonight. And the 1-0. Popped up this time, very shallow center field. Out to get it is Dietrich. He does get it, and that's on the Reds Radio Network.
The Reds are currently holding a 50-50 raffle to raise money for tornado victims in the Dayton area. Get the latest after the game on the home of the Reds, News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Eugenio Suarez will step to the plate, takes the first pitch breaking ball just off the outside corner. 1 ball, no strike count here to Suarez. Suarez, another Reds hitter that trying to get things going back in the right direction. And for the most part, when the Reds have not hit, it has been a team-wide not hitting. It has not been 1 or 2 guys, and when they have hit, it has been a team-wide slaughterhouse of the pitcher on the mound. And somehow, some way, they've got to find a little bit of in-between there. And there's a strike right in the bottom of the strike zone. Cut the plate in half. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now to Eugenio Suarez. Bauer back to the dish. And a fastball misses inside. And a leadoff walk for the Reds to begin the 4th. Second walk of the ball game for Bauer. Bauer's just one of those pitchers, he's not going to give in. It's not that he's wild and all over the place. It's just that when he falls behind, it's 1-0 or 2-0. He's not going to groove one. He's going to try to pitch to the edges, and he's got very above average stuff. And you just have to be patient. Here's Dietrich, and he'll take a cut fastball right over the inside corner, strike 1, and I think Dietrich thought that ball was a little bit inside. Oh, 1 count here to the Reds cleanup batter. The pitch. Curveball, and he drops it right on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. That is a tough pitch for any batter to take a hack at. It starts up around the shoulders, and when it drops, it drops. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and that one dropped into the dirt for strike 3, 1 down. Talk about spin rate and revolutions on a baseball, all of the advanced metrics that we hear this day and age in the game. Well, that breaking ball from Trevor Bauer qualifies in all of those categories. That ball has no hump in it. It looks straight until it gets close to the plate and the bottom falls out of it. Jesse Winker takes a slider in off the plate, 1-0. Winker drew the first walk of the ball game as he led off the second inning, as Suarez has done here in the 4th. And a strike over the inside corner, a fastball right on the money. Bauer working with Roberto Perez behind the plate here tonight. And time called. Perez calls time out. Now Winker settles back in, waiting on the right-hander Trevor Bauer. Suarez with the lead at first base. Pitch to the plate. Curveball, tapped foul. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. Bauer has pitched the majority of the Reds' left-handed batters pretty much the same. He's trying to cut the fastball in, more of a slider velocity than a cut fastball velocity. And then he comes back with that curveball, drops it out of the sky for a strike, and then tries to get you to chase it. And he does it again here to Jesse Winker, but Winker able to foul that one off. Well, what Bauer does is he throws 3 or 4 different pitches all in the same area. He's staying in on the left-handed batters with both the fastball, the slider, and the curveball. And then he goes up and away with a fastball. Winker lays off of it. And that's an awfully enticing pitch there. If you catch any part of the outside plate there, it makes it awfully difficult to pull the trigger. You're looking in. All of the pitches so far have been in, save for the last one. Now the 2-2 from Bauer. And a ground ball headed to the second baseman. Freeman has one play. He makes it at first base, 2 down. Well, the Reds have a runner in scoring position for the second time here tonight. Votto was there with 1 out back in the first. Suarez and Dietrich could not score him. And now it'll be up to Yasiel Puig. You had to figure runs would be tough to come by here tonight with the 2 starters that we have on the mound, and so far that has been true through the first 3 full innings of play. Reds with an opportunity here. Breaking ball just down and away. Puig holds up in time, 1-0. Bauer checks second once, twice, pitch. Curveball on the ground, left side, off the glove of the third baseman, but Lindor is there, and that will keep Suarez from scoring. He advances to third, an infield single for Puig. Runners now at first and third base, but an outstanding rebound play by the shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Ball tipped right off the glove of Ramirez. It changed direction, but Lindor at shortstop, phenomenal reaction. Able to glove the baseball, and Suarez has to stay right there at third base. So here's the youngster Van Meter. He hit into a double play his first time up, and now with a 2-out RBI opportunity. The pitch. Breaking ball, a curveball right on the inside corner, strike 1. Bauer pitching backwards to these left-handed batters. Curveballs, sliders in, and then he tries to get you to chase that fastball up and away. He's coming in again, and it's a tapper foul down the first baseline. Another curveball on the inside corner, and Van Meter just did get a piece of it. But now he's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And a pick to first base sends Yasiel Puig back to the bag, standing up. Lindor playing Van Meter up the middle. And why not? With a lot of breaking balls inside to these lefties, most of the Reds left-handers have pulled the ball when they've been able to make contact. Oh, 2 pitch. Runner going, tap foul. And that was a backdoor breaking ball. The perfect type of speed pitch to hit the ball through that left side of the infield, but that had some kind of break to it, and Van Meter has to consider himself lucky that he was just able to foul it all. So back to first comes Puig. Puig has 9 stolen bases on the year. There's one thing he has been able to do consistently is steal bases when he's had the chance to get aboard. Another 0-2 pitch. And that one fouled off again. Another curveball. Started off the plate away and dropped right to the outside corner. And the youngster Van Meter able to get a piece of it again. Three off-speed pitches, that over-the-top hook from Bauer. He may decide to go up and away with a fastball here. 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. It's another curveball, and it was a beauty. Oscar Mercado playing left field for Terry Francona here tonight. Hitting in the number 2 spot, he will lead things off as we begin this bottom of the 4th inning. Luis Castillo back to the hill. Reds shift entirely to the pull side on the infield. This ball popped up very shallow right field. Puig, long run, makes the catch, 1 down. Well, there was no second baseman to help Puig on that play. He was all by his lonesome on the right side of the infield. As Derek Dietrich was playing on the shortstop side of second base, the ball lifted into shallow right field, and Puig made that catch. Looked like he didn't even break a sweat. Made that look easy. Here's Carlos Santana. 6-game hitting streak for Santana. Flied to left in his first at bat. And he takes a strike over the inside corner. Castillo back to the plate. Slider way in off the plate as Santana jackknifes back out of the way. Sliding those feet back and his front side falling over the top of home plate. Here's a 1-1. Change up off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Indians with only 1 hit here tonight, and that was the first Indian batter that came to the plate in the bottom of the 1st inning, Francisco Lindor. Oh, this is hit high and deep right center field, and it's gone. 1-0 Indians. Carlos Santana has put the first run of the ball game on the board. A high, deep fly to right center field, right over the top of the Indians' bullpen. An elevated pitch up in the strike zone. It was a changeup, but it was up, and Santana smoked it. The Reds had a 2-out opportunity in the top of the inning, could not get a run across. And a home run has put the Indians on top off the bat of Carlos Santana. Here's Tyler Naquin. Looping liner down the third base line. It's going to roll all the way to the corner. Naquin with good speed, but he will cruise into second, and that's a double. Back-to-back extra base hits here with 1 out in the 4th by the Indians. And the way that Trevor Bauer is pitching right now, if you're Luis Castillo, you got to stop this immediately. As Jose Ramirez will step to the plate. He popped up into right field in his first at bat. 203 batter coming into tonight. Ramirez really pulling the ball big time from the left side of the plate. The pitch. And a backdoor breaking ball catches the outside corner. That's a strike. Ramirez popping that bat over the top of the helmet, and he pops this one up. It's going to head into foul territory down the right field line, out of play. You know that you are really pulling that front shoulder out when you have a pitch that you really like. You make solid contact, and you pull it a good 40, 50 feet foul down the right field line. And that ball's going to bounce away from Barnhart, and on to third base goes Naquin. Change up in the dirt. Barnhart went down to block it, and it just kicked off the heel of his glove straight to the backstop. And the Reds will bring their infielders in. Suarez was already in, but now they bring Iglesias, Dietrich, and Votto, who are all on the right field side of second, to the grass. Here's a looping liner into right field. Puig with a catch. He's got a big throw to make, and he does. And it is right on the money, and Naquin goes right back to third base. How about that? We have always known in Dodger Blue that Puig had an awfully strong arm. I tell you what, he lives to throw somebody out on the base path. And Puig got to that ball quickly. It was a backhand catch, bobbled it momentarily as he tried to get it in his hand, and he threw a perfect strike to the plate. Naquin would have been out by 5 feet. And a changeup misses off the outside corner here to Jake Bauers. And Naquin has good speed. But after watching Puig's throw, he went right back to third, and he was a good ways down the line. Breaking ball down and in, and it's a 2-ball, no-strike count here to Bauers. 2 down in the fourth. Solo shot by Santana, first run of the ball game. Double by Naquin, advanced to third on the wild pitch, and he's still standing there. Pitch to Bauers, and it misses up and away. A fastball out of the strike zone, and it's a 3-ball, no-strike count here to the Indians' designated hitter. Right-handed hitting catcher Roberto Perez waiting on deck. Pitch. And a fastball strike right on the outside edge. Bauers taking all the way. Now a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Bauers left-handed batter waiting on Castillo. The pitch hammered into the glove of Votto. Oh, baby, thank you.
On we go, top of the fifth. Home run by Carlos Santana has staked Trevor Bauer and the Indians to a 1-0 lead. The Reds have done nothing over 4, although missed an opportunity in the last inning when they stranded runners at first and third. They've collected 3 hits off Bauer. He's punched out 4 and walked 2. He delivers, and the pitch is in there for a call strike to Iglesias, who he struck out leading off the third inning. And that one's another strike. He's trying to make quick work of Iglesias as he did the first time up. And now back with a strike 2 pitch. And a ground ball to the right side. That's going to be a diving stop. No, the ball kicks out of the glove of Mike Freeman, and that is going to be a base hit. I think this guy's had more hits on 0-2 pitches than anybody on this ball club. He just makes contact.
Well, he's able to cover the outside corner and willing to hit the ball the other way. That's how you get 2-strike hit.
Yep. He's aboard with a potential tie and run if the Reds can get him around, and that'll bring up Tucker Barnhart, who had a base hit into left center his first time in there tonight.
That was not a good pitch by Bauer. You throw 2 off-speed pitches and then you try to throw a strike down and away. Not real smart.
So here's Tucker back for the second time. Iglesias a short lead at first. The pitch and a swung on a ground ball to the right side. This time it's Freeman up with it, and the only play will be to first. He takes one away from Barnhart, but advances Iglesias into scoring position for leadoff batter Nick Senzel. Fans in Ohio will have the opportunity to help Dayton area residents by playing a special online Split the Pot during tonight and tomorrow night's game. Raffle tickets for the 2-game pot are on sale now at Reds5050.com and will end in the middle of the 7th inning of tomorrow's game. One lucky fan will win 50% of the net proceeds, and the remainder of the proceeds will be donated to support tornado relief efforts in the Dayton area. Purchase your Split the Pot raffle tickets now at Reds5050.com. Here's Senzel at a swing and a big chopper foul off third. Nick has grounded to first. He has popped up foul to first baseman Santana in his 2 at-bats tonight. A .381 batter so far this season with runners in scoring position. And he's got the tie and run on Iglesias out at second. The stretch by Bauer. And to the plate. And a swing and a fly ball hammered back into right center field. That ball's going to be off the wall. It's going to get the tie and run in. Senzel has doubled, and we start from scratch in a 1-1 game.
Great piece of hitting by Nick Senzel. You got a guy on the mound that's slowing everybody down with curveballs and sliders, but he's not throwing his fastball in. He's throwing it down and away, and Reds are staying right on it. Iglesias did that. Senzel does the same.
RBI number 14 for Senzel, and now Joey Votto settles in. He has doubled and struck out. Bauer straightens up and lets it go, and Votto fouls it back, 0-1. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we're all in this one together. So the 1-0 lead for the Indians doesn't stand up very long. Senzel dancing off the bag at second. Votto hits it hard, but caught on the line by Freeman, and they double up Senzel at second. Bad base running. Terrible base running. Freeman catches a line drive. Senzel trapped, tried to get back, couldn't. Lindor caught the fifth. Roberto Perez, who struck out in the second, takes ball 1 from Luis Castillo, who surrendered a 1-out home run to Carlos Santana in the last inning. That pitch is away 2-0, and that gave them a 1-0 lead, and then the Reds come right back to tie it. In the top of this inning on an infield single, a ground out, and the run-scoring double. Time call as Castillo begins his windup, and Perez backs away from the plate. Freeman on deck. So 1 run, 5 hits for the Redlegs, 1 run, 3 hits for the Tribe. The pitch, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Has not walked a batter, has struck out but 3. And now needs a strike in the worst way, and got it, 3-1. They have an excellent Tuesday night crowd here at Progressive
No kidding.
Field.
I'm impressed.
It's worthy of being impressed. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Of course, back in the 90s when they had those great clubs and they had that consecutive sellout string of 400 and some in a row, very, very impressive. Ground ball to the right side, Dietrich to his left from the outfield grass. He'll throw Perez out, one down.
That was back when they called this place the Jake.
That's it. David Bell and I talked about it today, how the memories he has of here in Cleveland when his dad played here, and then he was drafted and signed by the Indians. And he said, I was coming through their system at a period that was very fruitful in the history of this organization. And I'm a third baseman, and I'm looking at the guy playing third base, and that happened to be Jim Thome. He said, I didn't like my chances. Here's Mike Freeman, and it's strike one to him.
Would they have Ramirez, Baerga,
Yeah.
Albert Bell, Thome?
1-1 to count. Serious talent in the decade of the 90s here in Cleveland.
If you gave up 5 runs, you win.
You do. That's exactly right. That was no big deal.
You win 10-5.
Foul ball out of play.
Now, obviously, that didn't happen every night, but those guys scored a lot of runs.
Boy, they sure did. This is an exciting place to play. Omar Vizquel was their shortstop for a number of those years in the decade of the 90s. They were an impressive bunch. Foul ball off the third. Sounded like he broke his bat, and Freeman will come back. There's no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Cheese Creations, beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find his favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together. Had a chance to renew old acquaintances with an old friend today, and that would be Terry Francona. Some kind of funny man. He was talking about a player he has on this club who came one day to him and said, you got to answer a question for me. He said, what's that? He said, why are you hitting me 8? He said, because I can't hit you 10. He's something. Swing and a miss. High changeup, and that takes care of Freeman. That's 4 punch outs now for Castillo, and here's Leones Martin.
Well, I will say this about Tito, because I played for him. He is truthful almost to a fault, but he is going to tell you exactly why or why not you're in the lineup or you're on the bench or you're not pitching.
Martin takes ball 1. Well, you hear that the mantra almost from every manager is that to be successful, you cannot lie to your players. You have to be honest anytime they ask you a question or anytime you have an assessment to make about why they're not playing. Here's a bunt attempt that did he offer at it? He did. 1 ball, 1 strike. And every manager says that, but every manager doesn't abide by that. This guy abides by it.
He always has.
He surely has. And you're right. He's almost honest to a fault sometimes. But that's had an awful lot to do with the fact that one day he will occupy a spot in baseball's Hall of Fame as an outstanding major league manager. Pitch is down. The count is 2-1. Now, as a player, that's an entirely different story.
What'd you say? He said, well, I didn't come here. I just wanted to be on the team.
That's one of the great comments of all time. We go through spring training as 87, I think. And, you know, he's in camp as an extra outfielder and filling in at first base. And the guy that was going to start in right field, I think it was Jeff Jones, he gets hurt the day before opening day, and the club comes to the ballpark, and he looks at the lineup. Here's a bouncing ball to shortstop. Iglesias throws him out to end the inning. And he says he's in. Jeff Brantley and Tommy Thrall, Marty Brenneman back at Progressive Field in Cleveland. This game has been what we expected it to be, and that is a low-run game. At least up to this point, it has been that way because of some very good pitching by Trevor Bauer and by Luis Castillo. Eugenio Suarez pops it up outside of first and behind the dugout or on top of it, 0-1.
They just showed a couple over here. The guy has on a White Sox jersey, a Cincinnati Reds hat, an IPA in his hand, and his girlfriend has on a Cleveland Indians hat and a Yankee shirt. Go figure.
Only in the ballpark. In for a strike, 0-2.
Got them all covered.
Yep. Suarez is flied out and walked. And a liner, caught it. Carlos Santana. Just quite not enough air underneath that ball, and Santana was able to go up and get it. So another Reds bid for a hit with 2 strikes comes up short, and that'll bring up Derek Dietrich, who has bounced to first and struck out.
Those are the kinds of swings when things aren't going well. You just hope that they land into the outfield grass. That one didn't quite go Suarez's way.
Dietrich fouls. I mean, this guy has been looking at a steady diet of breaking balls, and he has not fared well at all. 0 for 2 tonight and 2 hits in his last 22 times up. And that one is bounced to first, and it's played by Santana. And they're 2 up and 2 down. Now Jesse Winker, who's been on once tonight with a base on balls.
Look, you have a ball game where you hit 3 home runs in the game, as Dietrich did. There ain't a pitcher in baseball that doesn't remember that. When you come into town, and nobody wants to get embarrassed like that.
Now, he has not had a home run since he hit those 3 on the 28th of May.
I mean, it is sliders, hooks, and split fingers.
Jesse Winker in for a strike. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it tomorrow at Kroger.com. Foul ball, 0-2.
I was talking to Mason on the phone today. I said, "What you doing, buddy?" He said, "Well, we're waiting in the Kroger parking lot." I said, "Doing what?" He goes, "Yeah, Mama's waiting on the groceries to be put in the car." I thought, "Oh, man. Having fun, buddy?"
What did he say to you when he texted you the other day?
I can't say that.
No, you can't.
I get Mama in trouble.
Yeah, you will. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bauer shakes off a sign and now gets what he wants and delivers, and that's a swing and a miss. Or nope, foul ball, apparently. The defense thought it was strike 3, but plate umpire Bill Welke said Winker fouled the ball.
Well, when you're 12 years old and you're the only male in the house
at the time,
with Mama and sister, because they're away from me a good bit. He doesn't like it when Mama takes Elizabeth's side. It just that's just the way it is.
2 balls and 2 strikes on a bouncer up at the plate.
Of course, in his little mind, that Mama always takes sister's side. You know how that is.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 3-2 now.
Ooh. He wanted that one.
He sure did.
And may have had an argument.
Run the string out on Winker. Perez sends out the sign, and Bauer sends in the pitch. And strike 3 call.
Can't take 2 that close.
No. It will be the top of the batting order for the Indians here in the 6th inning. Francisco Lindor has doubled. in 2 times up against Luis Castillo, and he takes a first pitch strike. 3 hits. The Indians have been able to get off of Castillo. 2 of them came in the 4th inning. The home run by Santana and the double by Naquin. A ball, a strike. Suarez playing in on the edge of the grass at third base. Here's a foul ball back and over the screen. This will be pitch number 76 for Luis Castillo. He drops those hands down, comes to the plate, swung on, line drive, right center. That ball will go all the way to the wall, and here comes Lindor on to second base with his second double of the night. And that's how the 6th begins for the Indians. Now you really got your work cut out. Oscar Mercado lined to left and fouled out to right. He'll stand in with a go-ahead run at second and nobody out. And at least Votto well in on the grass at first. Although his body English would indicate doesn't know exactly what to do in this situation. Looks into the dugout. They back him a step or two. And Mercado squares to bunt and takes it way off the plate. And you got your hammer coming up next. Mercado showed bunt on the first pitch. And now Suarez a step in on the grass at third, so the corner infielders are playing a bit in, although not to the extent where they would give you the impression they know beyond the shadow of a doubt that's what he's going to be doing. And not this time. He didn't show it, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. The Indians come into this series having won 2 out of 3 against the Central leading Twins and 2 out of 3 against the East leading New York Yankees. So they've got a bit of momentum coming into this series. Time call now by Mercado. Reds, of course, have been going the other way despite the win Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia that kept the Phillies from sweeping that series. Here's a 2-0 pitch and a swing and a miss.
They may put the bunt back on here.
Two balls, one strike. At the belt and onto the plate, and he's taken all the way. And now it's a 3-1 count. Santana waiting on deck. Reds and the Indians are tied up at 1-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ground ball slapped to third. The look by Suarez to freeze Lindor, and then the throw on across for the out. 1 down.
I'd walk Santana here.
Yep, I would too.
And the reason I say that is you've got a changeup guy on the mound with a good fastball. He's rolled up 7 or 8 double plays from a left-handed batter, and you've got left-handed hitting Naquin on deck.
Naquin's bounced into only 1 double play all year. Let's see how they handle it now with Santana. They're going to pitch to him. Well, you are really rolling the dice when you make this decision. Foul ball, and I mean spinning on the first one. Leadoff double by Lindor, but stays at second on the Mercado bounce out to third. Straightaway outfield. Play shifting to the pull side is right side of the infield and lays off. The pitch started but stopped in time, 1-1.
I just think with this Indians lineup, the two batters you do not want to let beat you are Lindor and the man at the plate.
Correct.
You got a base open. Yeah, there's only one out in the inning.
And the way this club has been going offensively,
But the rest of this lineup
that's
can't
right.
hit.
Exactly right. 1-1 the count on Santana, and another big swing on a pitch up in his eyes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Santana taps the plate with the head of the bat. Tucker running through him behind the plate. The stretch and onto the plate. Inside with a fastball, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Castillo will try the big left-hand batter again, and now it's a 3-2 count. Had it all his way, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But has not been able to put him away, and now it's a 3-2 count. On deck, Tyler Naquin. Check Lindor at second to the plate, and he walked him. Gary Johnson out of the first base dugout and on his way to the mound before Naquin stands in to hit.
All right, folks, it is time for Ask Marty. This is where we ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball, always presented by CBTS. Today's question comes from Allie, Cincinnati. Allie, Cincinnati.
Allie, Cincinnati.
Wants to know, Marty, what would you say is the biggest challenge you have overcome in your life to get to where you are today?
Jeez.
It's a pretty good question. A little deep, but
That's a real deep challenge. Other than trying to get rid of my Virginia accent, I can't think of anything. Because where I come from in Virginia, O-U-T is pronounced out.
oh,
H-O-U-S-E is pronounced house. And I had to get rid of that. That would have been a little bit difficult to get to where I've been for the last 46 years with that type of accent, being primarily a play-by-play announcer. Naquin takes off the plate a ball.
we can get away with it over here.
You can. There's no question about that. That's true.
Color is color.
Yeah, and way back, the Red Barber, he got away with it with a decidedly Southern accent. So did Mel Allen, two of the great voices in the history of our business, a swing and a miss. But I don't believe you can do it today, and you sure as heck couldn't do it when I first decided I wanted to do this for a living. That's a heavy question right there. That's a weak answer I gave you. That's the best thing I can think of. 2 men on, 1 man out in a 1-1 count. Naquin doubled to left in the 4th inning following the home run by Santana. There's a chopper toward first, foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes. What's the biggest challenge you had to overcome?
5'9.5"
Yep.
pitcher and being right-handed.
Yep.
Because in today's world, probably wouldn't even have got, well, I might have gotten drafted winning 18 games in college, but it would have been a heck of a lot deeper into the draft.
That's a very good point.
You draft a 5'9.5" pitcher this day and age, you're fired.
You might. That's
Unless he's throwing 100.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
But that's the great part about this game. You don't have to be 6'7". You don't have to be the strongest man on the field. You can be the littlest guy on the field and still do awfully well for yourself.
Yeah, just ask Jose Altuve.
Amen, brother. Amen.
A 2-2 count on left-handed batting Naquin. And a foul as he battles Castillo here in an effort to try and get the lead back for the Cleveland Indians. No activity underway, in case you're wondering, in the Reds bullpen. Well, yes, there is. The right-hander has gotten up. Is that Jared Hughes?
I don't think so. Looks like Michael Lorenzen.
Michael Lorenzen has gotten up to throw. 2-2 and holding on Naquin. And now a 3-2 count.
Well, he had that changeup set up awfully well after that fastball up and in. He just wasn't able to execute it on the plate.
Well, this is a mighty big pitch coming up right here. You lose Santana after getting ahead of him in the count early, 1-2. And he had the count advantage against Naquin, and now he's gone the distance against him with Jose Ramirez waiting on deck. Lindor, the lead runner at second. Here comes the payoff pitch. And he walked him. Had not walked a batter the first 5 innings of this game, and now walks them back-to-back. And now Ramirez, twice today, he's flied to right. And short of getting a base hit, you can bet the ranch that Terry Francona would take another fly ball to right. Short of getting a hit from this guy right here. One ball and no strikes. .169 batter, left-handed. The numbers for Ramirez going into play tonight. Right now, Castillo cannot throw a strike. And there's a swing and a miss, and it's a ball to strike. So Lindor third, Santana second, Naquin first. Indians with a major threat underway here in the 6th inning. The game tied at 1 apiece. Up and in, 2-1. That's a 97th pitch. Indians very, very patient with Castillo here in the 6th inning. The pause in the pitch. Grounded foul, 2-2.
This is a 20-plus pitch inning,
yeah,
but it goes back to the 2 walks of Santana and Naquin.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 3 men on base. Castillo flinging it toward the plate, and Ramirez taps it foul again by the first base bag. Straight away outfield. Castillo sets for the break-even pitch again, and he swings and taps it foul. He had to reach for that one and was able to make contact, Ramirez, and nothing coming easy here in the bottom of the 6th inning for Luis Castillo as he goes down behind the mound to rub up the new baseball.
everything that Ramirez is swinging at, he is pulling heavy. If he hits the ball to Votto, especially with Ramirez's speed, Votto needs to come to the plate, not try to turn the double play.
Again, the 2-2 pitch and a line drive foul. You've got a lot of wood on that ball.
Well, that just shows you how much that Ramirez is spinning. That pitch is 97 in off the plate. He hit it right on the barrel, but that does no good over there in the seats.
Back in and leveling the bat a couple of times. The pitch swung on and fouled again. He shot a soft liner down beyond the Reds' dugout. And now the pitch count for Castillo stands at 102. And that activity the Reds had ongoing in their bullpen no longer. Michael Lorenzen had been throwing, but not now. And the battle continues, Castillo versus Ramirez. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. That's a big, big out right there. By no means out of the woods as he goes to work on Jake Bauers, but a big punch out against a dangerous hitter in Jose Ramirez.
Well, he gave him the same changeup earlier in that at bat, and Ramirez was able to foul it off. So they came back in with a fastball that he hit hard. They came in with a slider that he hit hard. Both of those were fouled. Then they went back away, and you can book it.
So here now is Bauers. He's grounded out and lined out. And he takes a strike. Young man who came over from the Tampa Bay Rays in December. That again was that three-way trade involving Carlos Santana and Edwin Encarnacion, swinging a miss on a fastball. Last year in 96 games with the Rays, he batted .201 with 11 homers and 48 runs batted in. Suarez one strike away from leaving the bases full of Indians. The pitch and a foul.
Well, Bauers will definitely expand the zone. He's got 131 strikeouts in his last 400-plus at-bats coming into tonight. You strike out that many times, that tells me you'll chase. I've just got to execute.
2 strikes and holding. The pitch. Up high, a ball. Runners take their lead at first, second, and third. 1-1 the score here in the bottom of inning number 6. And Bauers takes it in the dirt. Nice stop by Tucker Barnhart. And a 2-2 count after being ahead 0-2. All began with Lindor doubling to lead the inning off. Mercado bounced to third. Lindor stayed at second, but then came the walks. Ahead of Santana, walked him. Ahead of Naquin, walked him. Ramirez capped off a lengthy at-bat, striking out on a changeup. And now Jake Bauers in the 2-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 call, and what a job by Luis Castillo. Strikeout Ramirez, punch-out looking Bauers, bases left loaded.
Cincinnati.
Yasiel Puig to lead things off against the right-hander Trevor Bauer. First pitch slider off the outside corner, 1-0. Puig with an infield single in his last at-bat. And a check swing on another breaking ball from Bauer. This time it catches the outside corner, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Puig 1 for 2 tonight. Bauer, quick step back, the pitch, and fouled straight back. Puig was on that fastball just didn't quite barrel it up. I think the big fella knew it as well. 94 out over the plate. Just happened to be just off the plate. And now the 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball. They'll check down to first. Lance Barrett says no swing, and we'll even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, that has got to be the book on Trevor Bauer. He gets to 2 strikes. You're going to see that curveball. Even if he's thrown you 2 curveballs to get to 2 strikes. And there it is again off the end of the bat, left center field, and a diving effort by the left fielder Mercado, and he can't get it. Puig hustling all the way, and he's into second with a double. In and out of the glove of Mercado. A headlong dive. The ball entered the mitt, and as his elbow hit the ground, the ball bounced out. And Puig hustling all the way, and he rolls into second with a leadoff double. Great effort all the way around. The hustle by Puig, the effort by Mercado. But this one goes the Reds' way. And now here's Josh Van Meter. We're tied at 1 here in the top of the 7th. Reds and Indians in the first of 2 games of this series. Left line drive left field. Mercado has this one. And there's 1 out.
I got to be, I don't think we know how to spell the word bunt.
Yeah, and
I mean, you're not talking about a 350 hitter up there right there.
I get it. And
I don't get it.
The exact response from any manager that doesn't bunt in that category is, I believe we have 3 chances to swing the bat and get a hit. But you're in a ball game where hits have been, well, they've not been a whole lot. Here's Iglesias. And a curveball drops Iglesias to the ground, and it'll miss inside, even though the right-hander Bauer thought he caught the inside part of the plate. He did not. And it's a 1-0 count. Iglesias has scored the only Reds run today, and he's got a chance to drive in one here. And another curveball starts right at the front shoulder of Iglesias, and again misses over the inside, off the inside part of the plate. 2 ball, no strike count. Bauer, long hold, turns it loose. And he misses down and away with a slider, and it's a 3-0 count here to Jose Iglesias. Bauer sets in the pitch. And a fastball right down Broadway on the 3-0 delivery. 3 balls, 1 strike to Iglesias. And he has been awfully good with runners in scoring position. And the Reds could use a big hit here. Slider off the outside corner, did not go. And that's a base on balls. Reds with now runners at first and second base. 3rd walk of the ball game for the right-hander Bauer. And here's Tucker Barnhart. Tucker with a single to left, his first at bat. He is grounded out to second. 1 for 2 on the night. And the Reds with their biggest opportunity to take the lead yet. The pitch. And that one's going to miss low. Looks like a first pitch changeup from Bauer. Done that twice here to Barnhart in this ball game. Cut the plate in half, but that pitch is low. 1-0 count to the Reds catcher. Bauer delivers, and there's a fastball right at the top of the strike zone, right over the inside corner. It's a perfect scenario for the Reds. Get the bottom of your order aboard, and you've got the top of the order coming to the plate. Barnhart hitting in the number 9 spot. But you got to stay out of the double play here. The pitch. And that's going to get away from the catcher, Roberto Perez, and both runners will advance. Iglesias to second, Puig to third. That's one of the reasons that against a pitcher like Bauer, when you get your leadoff runner aboard, especially with a leadoff double, that you take the opportunity. You may give up an out to bunt the runner to third base, but Bauer has a tendency to bounce that breaking ball. You can have the greatest catcher in the world. You can have Johnny Bench back there, and there's a chance that ball could get away, and that's a gimme run. Now second and third for Barnhart, and the curveball hangs high. The 3-1 pitch coming. Nick Senzel waiting on deck. Bauer trying to come up with a big pitch here. Barnhart trying to crush one. Barnhart calls time. He'll step out of the batter's box. Now he's back in. Big deep breath. You can see it from here from Barnhart. Bauer trying to lock it in. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball up above the strike zone. Barnhart with a big hack, but he comes up empty, and now the count is full. The 3-2 pitch coming. Here we go. And it's fouled to the left side. A 96-mile-an-hour heater, and Bauer just came after him. Right about the belt, maybe a bit above, but it was right in the center of the plate. Long look in by Bauer as Perez runs through the signs. Now Roberto Perez will make a trek to the mound. And this is a good meeting right here. You've got to make sure that you're on the same page. Because as I mentioned early in this ball game, both of these bullpens awfully good. The Reds #1 in the National League in bullpen ERA. And if you can figure out a way to put a run on the board, and really the Reds have a chance to put 2 on the board with runners at second and third here in this opportunity, it goes a long way to locking things down when you know your bullpen can get it done. 3-2 again from Bauer. And he walked him. Tucker Barnhart snapped his head around. I think he thought that Bill Welke had called him out. He may have just said, no, that's inside. Barnhart started to throw the bat away and snapped back. He looked at Welke. I would say Barnhart might have lost his mind if he'd have called him up, if he'd have rung him up then. Now Barnhart and Welke both laughing at that situation, but there is no laughing matter on the mound at the moment. All of the Indians infielders meeting along with Carl Willis, the pitching coach, Trevor Bauer, Roberto Perez. That was pitch number 100 on the night for Bauer, but pitch counts for Bauer for the most part don't really matter a whole lot. This is the 13th time this year that he has thrown at least 100 pitches in a ball game. Nick Senzel doubled into right center field his last time up. More the Reds would love to have that here. The pitch just off the outside corner, a breaking ball, and Bauer starting to beg a little bit now. Turns his head off towards right field after the pitch was called a ball, but it was definitely off the outside corner. And now a 1-0 count here to the Reds' young center fielder. The pitch. And that pitch catches the outside edge. A slider right at the bottom of the strike zone, right on the outside corner. One count to Senzel. No place to put him. All bases occupied. Pitch. And a Tapper foul. The slow hook. That may have been off the bat and then off the catcher Perez. And indeed it was. Right off the collarbone, even though you've got that chest protector on and all of that equipment. The ball seems to find a way to a spot that hurts the most. Well, Bauer in a commanding count here. Indians had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th inning, but back-to-back strikeouts by Castillo, Ramirez, and Bowers put that threat to waste. The Reds trying not to race this opportunity. The pitch. Just off the outside edge. Another slider from the right-hander Bauer. And he is not missing by much. He is trying to entice the youngster Senzel to chase a pitch just off the plate. And that pitch started as a strike, and it just had a bit of sweeping action to move off the outside corner. 2-2 pitch coming. Here it is. Tapper back to the mound. They'll come to the plate. Perez will throw to first. That is a 1-2. Reds will go to the bullpen as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. The right-hander Michael Lorenzen will come on. So 6 innings of 1-run, 4-hit baseball for Luis Castillo. He walked 2, struck out 6. The 2 biggest strikeouts came with the bases loaded in his final inning. So Castillo gives way to this Reds bullpen. 1-1 ball game as Roberto Perez to lead things off. 7, 8, and 9 in the Indians' order for Michael Lorenzen. None of which have a hit here tonight. Perez steps in, now steps out of the batter's box as Lorenzen looks in for the sign. Right-hander sets and deals. Ground ball headed to the shortstop Iglesias. He will throw on the run, 1 down. That's about as easy as it gets right there. Perez wasn't running. A little high chopper. A little candy hop, if you will, for Iglesias. Made that look simple. And now Mike Freeman will step to the plate. Freeman has popped out to left and struck out. Of course, both of those at-bats coming against starter Luis Castillo. Lorenzen out of the stretch. The right-hander turns it loose. And a fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Strike 1. Lorenzen back to the set. The pitch to Freeman in off the plate. Lorenzen may have held on to that one a bit too long. That ball cut well in off the plate, and it was 96 miles an hour. Not his normal cut fastball. The 1-1 pitch. And that sinks down and away. A changeup from Lorenzen. 2 balls and a strike. Reds will have the heart of their order coming to the plate in the 8th. But right now, it's about Lorenzen and the bottom of the Indians' order. Ground ball headed to Votto at first, backs up, fields to the side, throws on to Lorenzen, 2 down. Now Leonis Martin struck out and grounded out. Lorenzen trying to make quick work of the bottom of this Indians order and get the Reds right back into the dugout. Lorenzen sets, turns it loose, and a backdoor breaking ball catches the top of the strike zone right over the outside corner. Lorenzen sets, eyeballs Barnhart, pitch fouled straight back. Fastball right at the top of the strike zone, and evidently that's exactly where Tucker Barnhart wanted it. And it's fouled straight back, and Lorenzen quickly again ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Barnhart wants that pitch up again. He gets it up, and it's a swing and a miss.
Problem running Trevor Bauer back out there. He's going to pitch in the 8th, or at least start it, placing Votto and Suarez and Dietrich, the 2, 3, and 4 batters, with this game remaining tied at 1 apiece. Here's Votto, and here's Bauer, and the pitch is in for a strike. Joey is double, struck out, and lined into a double play. Call strike 2. Bauer has struck out 5, has walked 4. Pitched out of the bases loaded jam in the 7th inning, throwing a double play ball to Nick Senzel. Votto strikes out swinging.
When's the last time we saw a pitcher go back out for the 8th in a 1-1 game and having thrown 105 pitches?
It'd be 2002 probably.
And he's still pretty sharp, as he showed right there.
He sure is. Here's Suarez 0 for 2 with a walk. See the Red Lions in action this Saturday when they take on the Rangers, a 7-10 game. The first 20,000 attendants will receive a Barry Larkin bobblehead presented by St. Elizabeth Healthcare. Get your tickets now at reds.com/150. 1 ball and no strike. Suarez had a base on balls back in the 4th. Swing and a miss. A ball, a strike. Reds at this point have out hit the Indians 6-4. Errorless baseball. Tie game at 1. And that breaking ball misses, and not by much. I mean, you got to love Trevor Bauer. Works quick. Not a whole lot of downtime between pitches. Rocks on the mound, lets it go, and that one's a squibber off to the first base side, fielded by Bauer, and he'll flip on to Santana. And they're quickly 2 men out.
Obviously, there are a lot of quirks
Yeah.
with Trevor Bauer, but the proof is in your results, and he throws the ball good for me.
Yeah. Here's Dietrich 0 for 3 upon his return home tonight. A ground ball to first, a strikeout, and another ground out to first base. And again, all they're throwing him is a steady diet of off-speed pitches, breaking balls. He doesn't get too many fastballs to hit. He fouls pitch number 1.
Another hook. The thing for Bauer here tonight is he has thrown, not only has he given Dietrich a steady diet of breaking balls, they've all been inside. That way, if he does square one up, he pulls it foul.
Off the plate for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And just when I say that, he throws one back door and misses just a bit off.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, bases empty, 8th inning. The pitch, swung on and fouled over top of the third base dugout. Now Bauer requesting and getting a new baseball from plate umpire Bill Welke. Indians will have the top of their batting order up in the home half of the 8th. Fastball missing, 2-2. 116 pitches right now for Trevor Bauer, and it doesn't look like he's missing a beat. Dietrich waggling that bat around and takes high, ball 3.
That's the first pitch tonight that Bauer didn't look as though he was able to finish the ball. Didn't quite get his fingers through that last curveball.
Well, now he's going as far as he can go with Garrett Dietrich with Winker on deck. And he walked him.
He may be done.
He might. Keep an eye. Here he comes. Here comes Terry Francona bouncing out of the Cleveland dugout. It's a fine line when you get to this point. You get the out, you're still in the game. You walk the batter with 2 out, you're going to go to the dugout. And that's exactly what the Indians are doing right now as Francona takes the ball from Bauer. So the Indians have made a call to the bullpen. Tri-State 811 partners in safety want you to know what's below. Contact 811 before you dig.
Oliver Perez will come out of the bullpen for Terry Francona. Perez coming on for the 29th time. Even record at 1 win and 1 loss with a 4.58 ERA. In his 28 appearances, he's pitched 19 2/3 innings, allowed 19 hits, 3 walks, 26 strikeouts. So he's coming in basically to get a left-hander out.
Well, he won't get that chance. Kyle Farmer is pinch hitting for Jesse Winker. So move and counter move. Perez comes on to replace Bauer to face Winker. David Bell takes Winker down and sets up Farmer. 5 home runs on the year for the former Dodger with the runner at first base and 2 out. And that pitch is way inside, ball 1.
Perez does not have an overpowering stuff. He's going to try to beat you with guile and make you chase a pitch that appears to be a strike but is not.
Now the pitch on the way, and that one is fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Trevor Bauer worked 7 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and so far 1 run. That one on the inside edge, a breaking ball for a call strike. Dietrich bouncing off the bag. Santana staying on top to keep him as close as possible. He representing, of course, a go-ahead run. And Farmer in a hole. And there's a throw on to first, and Dietrich steps back. Castillo, 6 innings tonight, allowed a run on 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 punch-outs. He threw a wild pitch. So both starting pitchers acquitted themselves extremely well. And that was the expectation when this game started. 2-2. Reds coming off of a 1-run win on Sunday in Philadelphia. Perez studies, shakes it off, gets what he wants. pitches. Hard hit. Backhanded stop by the shortstop, but the throw to second not in time. Good play by Lindor, but he went down on the edge of the outfield grass, did not get a whole lot on the throw to the covering Mike Freeman, and Dietrich easily able to beat it. So that'll be a pinch hit single of the infield variety, and that will bring Terry Francona right back out of the dugout. Well, with Yasiel Puig due up next, and he's going to go right back to that bullpen and bring on a right-hander. So the wheels are turning big time here in the top of the 8th. Kyle Farmer, a pinch hit single to move.
Francona. Numbers are pretty good. 3-0 record, a 2.25 ERA in 21 appearances. 24 innings, 19 hits, 25 strikeouts. He's only walked 4 batters.
He'll get Yasiel Puig, who started off the 7th inning with a double. Later on was the front end of a 1-2-3 double play off the bat of Nick Senzel that took Trevor Bauer out of a sticky situation. That was in the 7th, and now here he is an inning later with Dietrich at second and Farmer at first with 2 out. Nick Wittgren, Wittgren. Puig trying to make it happen here in the 8th inning. And he takes it low. Back with the right-hander pitch and a swing and a high fly ball hit back into right field. And in front of the warning from the summer, new this year after the first round of voting, the top 3 players at each position will advance to a special election to determine the all-star starters. Vote daily at Reds.com/vote and on Google by searching for your favorite Reds or MLB vote. Right-hander David Hernandez is on to the mound as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, and leadoff batter Francisco Lindor with 2 doubles tonight, and he starts him out with a breaking ball that drops in for a call strike. That one fouled out of play, and the count's a ball a strike, or 0-2, I should say, on the dangerous Lindor, who doubled in the first and then doubled again to lead off the 6th inning. That was the inning that Castillo did a marvelous job of getting out of trouble, batting back-to-back strikeouts of Ramirez and Bowers to leave the bases loaded. Right now, Hernandez with the 0-2 pitch, and that's fouled away. Michael Lorenzen, a perfect 7th with a strikeout, and Hernandez now in his 31st appearance. He's lost 3 of 4 decisions with a .514 earned run average. Type of ball game like we've got going right now, that leadoff batter,
critical,
the most important hitter in the inning. Here's the 1-1, the 0-2 pitch, and that one he checked his swing in time on a ball and 2 strikes. Indians have left 5 men on base in this game. The Reds have stranded 8. 3 different times the Reds have left 2 runners on base, including the top of this 8th inning. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ball dropped by Barnhart and completes it with a throw down to Joey Votto. 1 away.
Let's revisit our Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game.
All right.
The Indians won a world championship, last won a world championship in 1948.
They did.
That club was guided by player manager and future Hall of Famer Lou Boudreau.
Correct.
Lou had a former Reds manager as his third base coach.
Yeah.
Who was that former Reds manager? That was your question.
That was my question, and my
Your-
answer was Bill McKechnie.
Okay. I was going to give you the choices again. Would you like to have those, or you just want to stay with Bill?
Well, I know C was Bucky Walters.
A was Chuck Dressen.
I'm going to stay with Bill McKechnie.
All right. Let's have a look.
Well, please do. High pop up behind the plate. Tucker Barnhart looks like he's got to play, and he does, and they're 2 out.
The answer is Hall of Famer B, Bill McKechnie. You're so bad. The Reds manager from 1938 until he resigned near the end of the 1946 season was a coach for the Indians from 1947 to 1949. How do you do it? How do you do it?
I don't know. I had a faint recollection of it one time seeing McKechnie in a Cleveland uniform. That's the only reason why I took a stab. When you dropped that Bucky Walters on me, C, I got a little nervous.
The only feint I have when we're asking these questions
Is passing out.
Falling out on the floor. Kill him.
Yes.
I would love to be able to get them like that. That would make me so.
You have
I'd be
runs
so-
like that? Santana swings and
Yeah,
misses.
but not where I just say, "B, Bill McKechnie."
It's not how you drive, it's how you arrive.
I
Whether
understand
you-
that.
yeah.
Mine's in the woods.
Well, sometimes you come out and see the light of day. 1 strike and nothing on Santana, and another. I tell you what, this young man right here doesn't get shortchanged now.
He's trying to go large.
He's thinking exit velocity
Swing
and
hard,
launch
finish
angle.
high.
Yeah. He had a long one back in the 4th inning to account for the only Cleveland run. But he's now behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. And that one, he almost hit him with it.
You know what's interesting about watching Carlos Santana in tonight's ball game, and this is the first game we've seen him this year. He is swinging. Now, years past when we played the Indians, there were a lot of takes, a lot of working deep into the count. He not working the count. He hit it the second deck out there.
Now he steps away. He's all caught up in that home run, strikeouts, and walks. I mean, that's a big 3 today.
Who isn't?
I mean, I find out that the Diamondbacks and the Phillies hit 13 home runs in a game. Give me a break. 1-2 the count. Strike 3 call. Nice job by Hernandez as he makes quick work of the
Closer, but when you're tied in the 9th and you're the home team, there will be no save opportunity. So the left-hander hand is on, trying to hold it and see if the Indians can score in the 9th. The Reds trying to do likewise here in the top.
Jose Peraza will be brought off the bench to pinch hit for Josh Van Meter. So Oliver Perez works. Well, he faced only one batter, gave up the hit to Farmer, and then turned it over to Nick Whitgren, and he retired Puig on a fly ball to right to leave 2 on in the 8th. And now Hand on to pitch here in the 9th. And it's just under the knees for ball 1. Other action tonight in the top of the 4th in Denver. The Rockies have a 2-1 lead on the Chicago Cubs. Milwaukee trailing in Houston 8-3. Christian Yelich has hit his 25th home run. That one is popped up on the infield. Second baseman Freeman goes to the outfield grass and grabs it 1 out. And the Cardinals have a 6-1 lead at the end of 7 innings of play down in Miami. Mets and the Yankees played a doubleheader today as a result of a rain out yesterday. And the Mets won the first game the Mets are leading in the second game going to the 8th inning 9-3 after the Yankees won the day game 12-5. Check swing by Iglesias, and it's inside. So the Reds have Peraza, Iglesias, Barnhart. And the Indians will counter in the bottom of the ninth with Naquin, Ramirez, and Bowers. Two balls and no strikes. You got to figure Brad Hand is a surefire all-star here in 2019 with the kind of numbers that he's posted.
Surefire trade bait's what he
Well,
is.
a good point there. That pitch is inside 3-0. This is a guy that bounced around forever and a day. I mean, he broke in the Marlins organization in 2008, finally got to the big leagues for 12 games 3 years later, and then kept going up and down from the big league club in Miami to New Orleans. Here's a pitch, and that's ball 4, so he walks Iglesias on 4 straight. Then got the break that sent him to the San Diego Padres in 2016 and made 82 appearances that year, but had but 1 save. But then in 2017, 72 appearances, 21 saves. The following year, 41 appearances with the Padres, had 24 before being dealt to the Indians, where he added 8 more. So he becomes a closer late in life and has made the most of it. Tucker Barnhart has singled and walked, sandwiched around a ground ball to second. Steps into bat right-handed after the 4-pitch walk to Jose Iglesias in the pitch. And that's taken for a strike.
Well, when you watch Brad Hand throw, and if you're an evaluator, you think his arm's never going to hold up with those mechanics. You're going to blow his shoulder out or his elbow. Because he is stiff. He stands straight up when he lets it go. But when you're only asked to pitch 1 inning, that breaking ball is nasty.
Long look to first, dealing. And another strike. So Barnhart very unaggressively takes the first 2 pitches, and now at odds with plate umpire Bill Welke on the last pitch. Well, he might have had a right to complain about that one.
I think they were both balls.
Wow.
But
Tucker back in the box and in a big hole here with Nick Senzel coming up next. Hand turns it loose, and he struck out swinging. Senzel double to knock in the only Reds run back in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 4. And sets and delivers. And it's hit to the second baseman on the bounce. He fields it, throws on to first, inning over. No run.
Traffic, weather, tomorrow morning at 5 on 700 WLW.
David Hernandez coming back to pitch a bottom of the 9th inning, facing 3 left-hand batters in Naquin, Ramirez, and Bowers. So obviously, David Bell feels a whole lot more comfortable running Hernandez out there for a 2nd inning than bringing in either of the left-handers that he has in that bullpen or any of the 3 left-handers. Pitch is fouled back by Naquin. Fly ball to right. There are strikeouts, double, and walk. Hernandez outstanding in the 8th inning, striking out Lindor, getting Mercado on a foul out and striking out Santana. And now coming with a strike 1 pitch to Tyler Naquin, and it's a ball high. Reds Baseball brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealer. Come in and test drive the rugged new built in the USA Toyota Tacoma, the tough, dependable mid-sized truck with the best resale value. For all Toyota offers, go to buyatoyota.com. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. got two bullpens that have been outstanding this season. In fact, the Indians had the best bullpen ERA in baseball. The Reds had the fourth best. There's a swing and a miss. Ball getting away from Tucker Barnhart. He picks it up along the first base foul line and simply tags Naquin. So a good start here in the bottom of the ninth with a strikeout. He'll go to work now on Jose Ramirez. Oh for 3 for the Cleveland third baseman. That's a strike. Reds have a pitcher warming up in their bullpen. Nothing going on as far as the Indians are concerned. Apparently Brad Hand's going to go back out if a 10th inning is necessary. Check swing, 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, he checks it, 2-1. Oh, boy.
Oh, he didn't check it enough.
No, he didn't.
Not for Mike Everett.
Mike Everett says strike. So 1-2 rather than 2-1. Last 2 pitches have been hard in on Ramirez. And that pitch is up and away, 2-2. Jose Peraza, by the way, remains in the game. He's in left field. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. He's punched out 4 of the 5 batters he's faced. And we'll deal now with Jake Bauers. You come see the Reds, be sure you've downloaded Ballpark. It's the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and even seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play Baseball Bingo, presented by Dynegy. One ball and no strikes. Reds have played extra inning baseball 6 times this season, and David Hernandez trying to make it 7. Strike call. Indians have been involved in only 3 extra inning games, and they've not won one. Reds 1, Indians 1, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. A ball, a strike on Jake Bauers, and a check swing on a pitch down and in. Castillo pitched 6, allowed a run. Trevor Bauer 7 2/3, the same. Since then, Oliver Perez, Nick Whitgren, Brad Hand for the Indians. Michael Lorenzen, David Hernandez for the Redlegs. Grounded along the first base line, but a foul ball. We are supposed to have a beautiful day tomorrow. High temperature expected to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 78 degrees. Then it's going to drop down with a high of 67 on Thursday in Cleveland.
Would that be considered the lake effect?
Don't ask me. I never lived close to no lake. You got me? I have no idea.
I like how you put that, because that was a little bit of that Virginia coming back.
3 balls and 2 strikes. He loses Bauers. Roberto Perez will bat the payoff pitch. And he struck him out swinging and struck out the side.
And the cameraman obviously does not realize that we're playing baseball, and home plate umpire Bill Welke lets him know, get off the field. Brad Hand back out. And he'll get Joey Votto, Eugenio Suarez, and Derek Dietrich. First pitch breaking ball, and that's a hammer right on the outside corner. Strike one. Looks like Adam Simber warming in the Indians bullpen. Submariner, side armor. But right now it's Brad Hand. Fastball just off the outside edge. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. Votto doubled in his first at bat. Struck out, lined into a double play, and struck out again. 1-1 ball game here in the top of the 10th inning. That one fouled straight back. I don't believe that's where Brad Hand wanted that pitch. He got away with one there. Votto trying to get something started for the Reds here in the 10th. Hand back to the plate. Swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. One down. Here's Eugenio Suarez. Suarez 0 for 3 tonight. He did reach via the walk to lead off the 4th inning. Hand tough on lefties or righties. That's the reason he closes for the Indians. And a changeup up and away. 1-0 count here to Suarez. Well, the lefty sets at the belt, and back to the plate he comes, and he hits the outside corner. Back-to-back changeups. That one caught the outside edge to even the count at 1-1. These are the kind of games that if the Reds can figure out a way to win, they can really turn things around. They have had a lot of one-run ball games that have not gone their way. And that pitch off the outside edge, a fastball, 2 balls and a strike.
They've lost 23 games by 2 runs or less, which is far and away the most in Major League Baseball.
Hand back to the plate, and a swing and a miss. Big swing on a changeup by Suarez. And that'll even the count at 2-2. Yeah, I think if you can figure out a way incrementally, you win a ball game like this, it starts to make you feel better and less pressure on each individual hitter or pitcher that comes to the plate on a one-run game. But you got to figure out a way to get it started with a win. Swing and a foul back behind home plate. And these are the kind of games, especially when they become bullpen games, it's not just one swing of the bat. More times than not, the good teams win those ball games by creating tough at-bats, single here, maybe a bunt. You create some offense rather than just trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And that's going to miss down and away. Another changeup from the left-hander Hand. Just stayed away from Suarez here in this at-bat. Fastball and changeup. Three-two pitch coming. Here we go. And it's tapped foul over to the third base side. Another changeup by Brad Hand. Well, Suarez is overdue for the long ball. He's got 1 home run since May 16th. And he's coming up on about a month with only 1 home run, and that is not this third baseman. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. He just kept feeding him the off-speed pitch. Suarez well out in front. Back-to-back strikeouts for the left-hander Hand. 2 down. So here's Derek Dietrich. Dietrich has had a steady diet of the breaking ball tonight from the right-handed starter, Trevor Bauer. And I imagine he'll get the breaking ball here from the left-hander hand. Pitch to the plate. And it's a fastball way off the outside corner, 1-0. Dietrich wiggling that bat, waiting on hand to the plate, swing and a miss, and that was the breaking ball right on the outside edge. 1-1 count. Hand back to the plate. Swing and a miss, another breaking ball. Hand trying to strike out the side here in the 10th. Dietrich trying to get aboard with 2 down. The 1-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball off the outside. Iglesias coming on for the 28th time, a 1-5 record, 2.79 ERA for Iglesias. .40 strikeouts in his 29 innings of work. And Iglesias been on a pretty good roll as of late. Throwing the ball quite well lately. The last time he allowed a run was back on May 5th against San Francisco. Hadn't allowed a run in his last 12 appearances, spanning 12 1/3 innings. He'll get the bottom of the Indians' order. It'll be Perez, Freeman, and Leonis Martin. Those are the batters scheduled due to bat for Terry Francona. And Iglesias to the plate. And he catches the top inside edge of the plate with a hanging breaking ball. And now Roberto Perez looks back to home plate umpire Bill Welke. Iglesias turns it loose, and a check swing on a breaking ball well off the outside corner. Perez looking fastball, trying to end it with one swing of the bat. And he just couldn't stop his swing. No balls, 2 strikes from Iglesias. Now the Reds righty, the drop step, the pitch, and he bounces that one up there. Made sure he got on top of that breaking ball, and he bounced it a good 2 or 3 feet out in front of home plate. 1-2 strike count. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Sidearm fastball from Iglesias. And after 3 consecutive breaking balls and an ugly swing by Perez, he was right on that fastball, and it was 98 from the sidearm slot from Iglesias. The pitch. Up and in that time. Way up and in. Two ball, 2 strike count. Iglesias to the plate. And he misses inside with a changeup, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here to the leadoff batter, Roberto Perez. The pitch. Popped up high into the air. The shortstop, Iglesias, coming on. He's got it. 1 down. Well, that leadoff batter is all important when you head to extra innings, really late in the ball game period. And Iglesias gets his first batter here in the 10th, and that will bring Mike Freeman to the plate. Freeman 0 for 3 here tonight. Iglesias spins and turns it loose, and he misses downstairs with a fastball. 1-0. The pitch, and that's going to miss into the dirt. A changeup from Iglesias. Now you look at Iglesias' stuff tonight, and it appears he's feeling pretty good. He's hit 97, 98. But a lot of times when you feel that good and your arm is live, your control is not as good as what you would like it to be. And that ball hit the umpire. I'm not sure that Tucker Barnhart even got a glove on that one. And that crossed up Barnhart. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that hit the umpire square in the belly. Now, granted, you got all that equipment on, but I'm telling you, that doesn't make a whole lot of difference when you got a bullet coming in there like that. And you've got the trainer from the Indians out checking on home plate umpire Bill Welke, along with his fellow umpires, all three from the field of play coming in, Guccione, Barrett, and Mike Everett. And if nothing else, just to give the big fellow a breather. I think Barnhart was expecting changeup, and he got a fastball up and in. He tried to get the glove back to the ball, and it just barely tipped his mitt, but right in to the stomach of Bill Welke. Padding or not a whole lot of fun. 3-0 pitch, and that misses, and Freeman has a 4-pitch walk, and he will be the first base runner here in the 10th inning. First base runner for the Indians since the 6th inning. Lorenzen came on, retired the side in order. Hernandez came on, retired 6 consecutive, 5 via the strikeout. Here's Leonis Martin. 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. Pitch, swing and a miss. Change-up, sinking away from Martin, way out in front. No balls and a strike here to the Indians center fielder. Reds play him to pull on the infield. Shallow is Suarez at third base, and another change-up, and that's going to miss down under the strike zone to even the count at a ball and a strike. If you're Leonis Martin, you've got to feel awfully fortunate that you're even playing baseball at this point in time. He had some health issues a couple of years ago. It was not pretty. Line drive, right center field, rounding second Freeman. Senzel quickly to the ball. He brings it back into second base, and the Indians are cooking here in the ninth. One-out walk here in the 10th, and a single into right center field by Leonis Martin. And that puts runners at first and third base for the best Indians hitter in their lineup, and that's Francisco Lindor. Why don't you just walk Lindor here and you got to play for a force at any base? And I think that's what the Reds will do. So the Reds will issue the intentional walk to Francisco Lindor. And they will bring Oscar Mercado to the plate with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 10th inning. 1-1 ball game. We have been here before with the Indians with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Luis Castillo able to strike out back-to-back batters to end the threat. Infield all the way in. Very shallow in the outfield. Iglesias. Breaking ball. That's a strike. Looked like it was off the outside corner. Mercado tried to check his swing, but not to the liking of first base umpire Lance Barrett. So Iglesias ahead in the count, 0-1. The turn to pitch. Breaking ball spins in off the plate. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Reds righty at the belt. And fouled straight back. Another hanging breaking ball. Mercado spinning, but he was just underneath it. One ball, 2-strike count for Iglesias. He checks in with Barnhart. Big pitch coming here. Line drive, left field, and this ball game is over. Oscar Mercado comes up large for the Indians here in the bottom of the 10th inning. And the Indians have won this one 2-1. We'll be back in a moment.